Hey everyone, welcome back to Cue the Pink. Super excited for video number 2. I had a really rough time trying to load video number 1, but it's finally up. Check it out. I will link it below, and then I'll also leave I'll leave it at the end so that you guys can click in and take a look at that. It's really exciting to really get my channel up and running. I've been trying to do this for a really long time, so it's really awesome. Which does bring us to today's episode, because it's Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we wear pink. And we drink pink, and it's the middle of the week. We're going to start a series called Lazy Babe Guide. And today's Lazy Babe Guide is going to be the guide to starting your empire. So get out those rosés and pay attention. Something that's huge, that quarantine for me has really given me some time to really take that plunge, start the empire, not the actual empire like Chuck Bass's empire, but like an empire, like my empire. And I really feel like all of us should just be like owning it. I mean, we are millennials, most of us, hopefully if you're watching this, after all, and we are the people that want to work for ourselves, because being an employee is not always what it's cracked up to be. I will say that I've actually always said that I didn't want to be a CEO, but I would always joke around with my friends about how I wanted to own an airline, how I wanted to own a record label, which now I actually want to own a production company, not a record label, how I wanted to own a makeup line and a clothing line. And the other day I was like, okay, if I ever actually want to do that, I need to get it together. I at least need to try out working at my social media and starting that company that I've actually been putting off for a while, because that is what I do. I'm a freelance social media manager, freelance web designer on the side of being an actress and a makeup artist. And in quarantine, I had a lot of time to explore all of those things, and I found a happy marriage for them. And that's why I thought this is the video, this is the time we need to get this going. We need our boss babes, we need to kick it up and live the life we want to live. Here are the things that I've realized during quarantine that have kick-started my little heart, put a little lighter under my behind, and made me want to start on this path of building my empire. So timing, it's the eternal excuse, I don't have time, I don't have time. Well, I don't know about most of you, but I've found myself bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored plenty of times during quarantine, especially after Tiger King.
Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen.
I mean, I really do miss the part of quarantine where Tiger King was a subject. And then TikTok happened, and it might be banned. So, I mean, let's not even go there. It might make me cry. But, actually I'm in Mexico, so it's not as bad, but if something happens in America, it always usually trickles its way down here. So please don't ban TikTok, thank you. Other than that though, more important stuff. So timing is the eternal excuse. It's the reason why people don't do stuff. They're always like, I'm just waiting for the right time. Okay, number one, right time does not exist. I've realized that. And also, number two, we are not in control of our timing. On top of the cliche that Rihanna, Harry Styles, all have the same 24 hours that we do. Granted, they do have managers and people who are constantly behind them, and they really don't fully own their life. But the point is, we have the same 24 hours. So let's take that time. So again, it will never be the perfect timing. Now, is there better timing than other timing? If I decided to start my airline right now, would that be the smartest thing? Probably not. So you just be like, okay, so to start an airline, I would need a company. So why don't I start small? Why don't I start with my YouTube channel and then build my way up to my freelance company and so on. Therefore, my 24 hours aren't all trying to be stuck into one thing. I have the same amount of time as everyone else. I just need to be my own manager. I am a little bit more lazy, but that's the thing. I'm just going to watch myself for a certain amount of time. When I get really, really tired, just so I don't overwork myself to a point where I don't want to do it anymore, I'm going to listen to my body a little bit more. Or when I totally am stressed out and don't want to do anything anymore, before I get to that point where I'm giving up, I'm going to take that time to self-care and give myself that space. So that's the one thing that has always held me back, the timing. Is it the perfect time? Is it the right time? I realize that I don't control time. Okay, the other thing. So having way too many ideas. Amen. That is so me. I am a Gemini, so I am constantly having ideas, and a lot of the times that's what would stop me from doing certain things or trying to actually start something, because the minute I would start something, I would have this like other crazy idea and I needed to work on it at that time before I totally forgot it. And then I would go to sleep and my mind would constantly be flooding with ideas and I would just like never really rest. Well, I kind of figured it out. So I decided to time block. I've seen so many videos on time blocking. I feel like I want to do one, but I want to like really have more time in the time blocking world. I just started time blocking, but it's actually been like super helpful, and it makes me stick to one activity at a time, because otherwise my brain's just everywhere. Like I would open something up to like write a script, or I would open something up to like post something, and then I'd be like, oh my god, I have a great idea for this, and then this, and then I would just end up doing nothing, and then I would just be like super exhausted and just want to totally give up. Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. Yeah, that was me, 1000%. So I saw these videos on time blocking. I'll actually link some below. Adrian Finch has one that I think was the most helpful about time blocking, and it really just like made sense to me. And then also there's an app that I actually think I deleted from my phone because I don't have any storage. The app is called Block and Flow. I will put a little picture here so that you know. You can find it on the App Store. I literally just looked up time blocking and that's what came up. I don't even remember. I think I got recommended a different one, like from one of the YouTube channels I was watching, and I downloaded it, and then this one was one of the ones. I always like to try different ones, and this one to me has been like great. It's pretty self-explanatory. It literally gives you blocks. They put 25 minutes, but sometimes I'll do 60 minutes because if not, I will just like 25 minutes kind of lets my brain kind of wander way too much as well. 60 minutes kind of focuses me in a little bit more. So I do those time blocks, and then it gives you like 5 minutes in between, and then it gives you 20 minutes in between, so you can like not overwork yourself. And I think it's been super good. If I have to walk my dog, I'll be like, okay, well, there's 15 minutes left. Let me just finish this, and then I'll go walk my dog, and that'll be that little break of like 5 or 10 minutes. So that's been so helpful for me, because it's like just 60 minutes of where I'm like, okay, well, for 60 minutes, I'm gonna do this one activity. And then once I'm done, I'll go to another one. Most of the time I end up doing the same activity, but it kind of calms my brain. And before you go to bed, it is really good to write things down. If you're an overthinker, you need rest, which comes to my other point. You need self-care. To build an empire, you have to start with this empire. You have to start with yourself, dude. Like, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you gonna ever run an empire? You need to make sure that you can take care of the biggest empire that you have, which is yourself. So, self-care. When you are exhausted, stop. If you are literally like, if you feel yourself like, I just can't do this. I was supposed to film yesterday because I am running short now, and I'm gonna have to like edit this right away. The point is, yesterday I tried and I just could not do it. So why would I put up bad content? If you are tired, if your body is just saying, do not do it. So I was tired, so I was like, you know, whatever. And then I had an acting class last night, I had an audition I had to do, and I had it all planned out, but then when I got home, I was super exhausted, and I was like, you know what, no. So after my acting class, I was super pumped, so I recorded my audition, and then I went to bed. And then today, I'm super pumped to film this. It was worth it. So self-care, listen to yourself. Do not listen to like, oh, you're lazy, you're never going to get there if you don't do it. That is not true. That's just that's just your self-talk, your negative talk that wants you to stop and not do it, because if when you're building your empire, you're totally going out of your comfort zone, because so much is going to come at you, just like life. And those are not the people you want in your life, or maybe you want them in your life because you can't get rid of them, but you don't have to listen to them. Your schedule has to be based on you, not on anybody else. The other really important thing to start your empire is decluttering. Declutter, baby. Let the shit out. Start from a blank slate. Start from that point. Start from zero. It's like you're filming something, this blank space, and that's what you need to create your empire. You need a blank space. You need the freedom. So make sure you declutter. That's, for the first time, I laid down my goals, like that I have 3 goals for this year. I laid them out, And then I went down and was like, what's the lowest thing I have to do right now? And I took a week and a half to start decluttering some of the things. Did I finish? No. I still have some stuff to declutter, but it's decluttered away. You know, it's a lot freer now. I'm more open to my new life. Another huge thing is the idea of a niche. It is such a word, like you hear it everywhere. I've seen millions of videos on a niche, and that was a big thing that stopped me from starting my channel in the first place, because I have so many ideas. I think the word niche for a person that's like multi ideas or talents or as a creator, that word is such a burden. It's kind of like when you're an actor and they want to like typecast you and you're not like into your typecasting. That's what a niche is like to everything else. But I get it. I'm not mad at the fact that the niche exists. It's just I needed some time. So the more you know about yourself, this is where that self-care part also comes in. The more you know about yourself, the easier it is to niche down. And that's where I'm telling you, like, timing is timing. The more you accept yourself and you accept what you like and you accept where you are in life, the easier it is to actually niche down. So for the longest time, I was like, I want a lifestyle channel and a beauty channel, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I always talk about adulting. Joining the mid-20s club and beyond was such an adventure for me that I just feel like I need to talk about it, and I feel like I want to be here for people. And I've had several of my friends talk to me about it, and it's just great to hear other people's stories and it be like a support group, this club that you, even if you don't want to enter, you're gonna have to enter. And it's just good to hear the stories from all types of people. Just that has helped me niche, and it took the longest time, and I am way older than when I wanted to start this, when I was closer to that age. But I've learned so much now that I'm not like spewing out the same things that maybe I'm complaining about if I would have done it right at that age. And I wasn't accepting of it because I was still suffering through it. Right now, I actually feel like super excited to film these videos, and I feel like I have a lot more to say, and I'm in a much better place where now I actually feel like I could give the advice, whereas before I was just more so like starting a channel to complain about it. I still have some things that I think are hilarious and that I can make fun of and all that stuff, but it's also more so that I want this to be like a channel of support, a place where you can come and hear my crazy experiences and share your crazy experiences and see how they can all mesh together in this awesome niche. And I'm sure when I join the 30s club, which I'm so close to doing, even though mentally I'm 22 and will be 22 for the next 30 years, it will be cool to have that community. Because if I would have told you this when I was still 25, it's like when you give that advice but you don't take it yourself. That's where I was at. And now everything that I'm putting in this channel for you guys, everything is stuff that I'm either doing and experiencing right now, or it's stuff that I've gone through and it's funny. I'm here for you and I want to support you and help you the best way I can. So please always feel free to comment below and just tell me what your experiences are, or DM me or something if you want it to be more private. I always have my social medias linked below, and we can either do a video of it or some kind of skit. Quarantine for me has been great, and I think we should really take advantage of it. I know it's rough times. I know there's a lot of crazy things. There's so much uncertainty. But honestly, uncertain, the word has no meaning anymore. When you don't know what's going to happen, it's actually way more exciting. I mean, yeah, things can go wrong, but things can go really well. And yeah, that's a niche. Like, finding who you are is a niche. I'm in a class with 5 other makeup artists. None of us are the same person. Every time we have, like today was an exam, all of our makeups were so different. And none of them were bad or ugly. It was just so different. That alone just tells you something about the person. That plus the way that I am is not what you're getting in any other channels. One, I think it's an advantage because there's people who've done it and now I can just follow along. Two, I have so much more to say and I know who I am. I don't know 100%. I don't think you ever know 100% because you'll be changing. You'll grow. Open up that space for growth. And that's where your niche has to be flexible. Like, yeah, I'm talking about adulting, but at one point, it's going to be about joining the mid-30s club and not the mid-20s club. Obviously, find who you are and what your voice is, what your point of view is, so that you can decide what that empire is going to be. But always know that nothing's 100%, so don't over stress about that. Don't let that be a factor for you not to do anything. The other thing is just grab some rosé, put on some Taylor Swift, and just let yourself create. And then sometimes time block, you know, really like write down like all the things you like to do and really put into perspective, like, okay, well, I like to rollerblade, but I like to rollerblade in the snow when it's really cold and wearing super comfy sweats. That's a ridiculous example, but that is what's going to make you different from all the other roller skaters who roller skate on Santa Monica. That's your point of view. And timing, again, you don't control it. Just use your 24 hours, listen to your body, take care of yourself, have a good time, find some time to have a good time, have a wine night with the girls, go out on a date if you're not forever single like me, hug your dog, you know, be with family even when they stress you out, find the moments that they don't stress you out and enjoy those, have a cup of coffee, have all of it, and just have a good time and build that empire, babe. Like, just do it. Build the empire. So it doesn't matter if you're a lazy babe, you can still build your empire, and it's going to be a damn good empire. So thank you guys so much. Always comment below for any questions, any suggestions. Please tell me your stories. I want to build a community with you guys. This is our mid-20s club. We got this. Life's crazy. Enjoy it. So I will have my socials either, it's probably going to be on this side, might be on this side, who knows, it's somewhere around here. Social media, follow me on Instagram, where I mostly love to be, but I do have some TikTok and Facebook. Please go check out my first video, because it took a really long time to load, and yeah, see you guys on Sunday.